As we gear up for the Paris Olympic Games, which is just 7 days away, Nigeria stands proud with 2 athletes. I say it again, 2 athletes. They are set to represent the nation in swimming. That is set to represent Team Nigeria in the swimming event at the Paris Olympic Games. Historically, swimming has been a challenging sport for Nigeria. Not like we do not have the talent. Because when you talk about those from the Niger Delta, those in the riverine areas, you can see how they can stay on the water for hours. But that's not the kind of swimming, competitive swimming we're talking about. So we're lacking and having a challenge with competitive swimming. We've got limited resources and infrastructure, often hindering the development of athletes on the sport. However, the resilience and dedication of our swimmers have led to gradual improvement over the years. We heard about Abiola Ogunbanwo, who was at the Tokyo Olympic Games, creating records over there, and this year would have 2 athletes. Today, we have the opportunity to delve into the stage of swimming in Nigeria in preparation for our athletes at the Paris Olympic Games and their chances of making a mark on the global stage. Joining us to provide insights and discuss the future of Nigeria swimmers is the president of the Nigeria Aquatic Federation, Chinoye Daphey-Aliyu. Thank you so much, Chinoye, for joining me on the show today. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. It's great for you to be here to unpack and give us insight about the prospects of Nigerian swimmers who will be heading to the Paris Olympic Games. Now, I know the notion that swimming is not in the DNA of a black man, because we barely see black swimmers. We see a lot of white swimmers at international meets. That notion is not far-fetched, especially since Nigeria will be parading only 2 athletes at the Paris Olympic Games. Swimming in general has not received the attention it deserves from sport fans in Nigeria and even in Africa. We see a lot of them gravitate towards football, basketball, rugby, but rarely do we have fans who are too enthusiastic about swimming. How would you describe the growth and development of swimming in Nigeria from its early days to now?
Thank you for having me. I come from the riverine area, and I come from a place where we just grew up swimming. And then Deltans or Niger Deltans have represented Nigeria in the past. And lately, even the World Aquatic Federation have given scholarship to 2 Nigerians because they want to encourage black Africans to enter into the world of swimming in the international arena. So we do have 2 of our swimmers in the high performance centers abroad. Even these are children that are going to represent us are also Nigerians, but they are in the international swimming centers. Like the female is Ada Kwandu, and Toby Sijuade is the male that is representing Nigeria. I would say swimming is doing well because the last the All Africa Games we went in Ghana, we won a medal. And we were short of, we would have won at least 6 medals. But because we went with just 4 swimmers, the only thing they concentrated on was the relay. And they won a medal. And I was told by the records that is the last 33 years we won a medal last. So I would say we are doing well. And our swimmers just feel they go to National Sports Federation.
All right, I think we have lost the connection with Chinoye Daphey-Aliyu, who is the president of the Nigeria Aquatic Federation. We'll be hoping to get her back on time to, expatiate more, give us a understanding.
They should learn to swim.
Are you here with me?
They should learn to swim.
Okay.
Because there's no reason why people should die in the swimming pool. So outside medal, swimming is a big industry. and we can employ our youth in swimming. But going back to what we are here for, the Olympics, right now, they didn't even join the camp in Germany because they are better off in the high performance center. You know, you will agree with me that swimming is a very specialized sport.
Okay.
So it's a very specialized sport because you need a proper swimming pool. You need the timing. All those things you need to put to make swimming realizable. We don't have them in Nigeria. We have a lot of swimming pools, but they are not equipped for this. That is why right now our swimmers are foreign-based.
Okay.
Because all the swimming pools in Nigeria, none has the timing, the touch pad. Timing is by touch pad. You touch pad, you do the timing. But there's no swimming pool in Nigeria that has that right now. That is why our high performance swimmers are outside the country.
All right.
So there's a lot to do.
I'm sorry to butt in there. I'm sorry to butt in.
Get there.
All right, I'm sorry to butt in there. But
so it's not like swimming.
Are you with me, Chinoye? Are you with me?
It's not that swimming is. Yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can. I'm trying to butt in here so we can have a conversation and not just one monotonous one there. All right. You've been able to list out the achievement and would say all the pros and cons of us having to be represented at international meets. But I know that we are yet to win a medal at the Olympic Games in swimming. And we've got only 2 athletes representing Nigeria for this Paris Olympic Games that will be kicking off in a few days' time. What special preparations? What was the criteria for picking these 2 athletes? I remember we had an athlete like Abiola, as I did say earlier, Abiola Ogunbanwo, who was at the Tokyo Olympic Games. What's the update on her? Why didn't we go with her in order to, for continuity? She's used to the terrain at the international stage. Why do we have these 2 debutants? What were the criteria to pick them?
Immediately after the Olympics, she was even given scholarship to go to the high performance center in Russia.
You're talking about Abiola Ogunbanwo?
The Australian government just gave her scholarship to study medicine, and then she said she wants to concentrate on the medicine. Meanwhile, she was given that scholarship because she's an Olympian. She said she wants to concentrate on her studies. That is how we lost her.
Okay, so the 2 athletes who are going to be making their debut at the Paris Olympic Games, what were the criteria picking them?
Well, there is what they call world ranking.
Okay.
For you to qualify, no matter how good you are, you must have attended minimum 3 world championships. So by the world ranking, they have attended the international championships and meets. And only this year alone, we have had a lot of qualifiers. So they now, their ranking is highest, and they now qualified based on the ranking and the qualifiers.
Okay, all right, and we will be having just 2 of them over there at the Paris Olympic Games. But I must say there are a little bit of challenges here, having to accept swimming as one of those sports that one can get into and enjoy playing. And the number of FINA-approved swimming pools in Nigeria is far lower than those that are not approved. And I'm wondering why that is a problem here. Is there no way we can get them up to standard? I know that some of them are not up to standard, the ones who are not approved, and that's the reason why they're not approved by FINA to be of Olympic standard for any swimming competition. How can we get them approved? How can we increase the standards? What is the current state of swimming facilities in Nigeria?
I am now telling you that all these swimming pools in Nigeria, none, not one, has the facilities. None is qualified. The facilities are not up to standard.
But
That is why
I did make a research about some others. I did see that from Teslim Balogun being one of those FINA approved. Are you saying this Teslim Balogun swimming pool is also not up to standard?
it does not have a timing touchpad. Because gone are the days when what we are doing now, we hold the timer to do the timing. But that is not accurate enough. So all our swimmers that qualify by the ranking have attended international swimming championships where all the gadgets are there to get your accurate timing.
Okay.
Even when we went to, they said last time Nigeria won a medal, even in Africa, guess what, 33 years ago.
Yes.
Only this year did we win a medal. But we were short of medals because we went with only 4 swimmers, just like we are going with only 2 swimmers now.
All right, it's all about from the grassroots. We need to begin this from home. That's what they say. What is being done to make sure that these facilities are not just left bare, they're not left to rot? We can have them be stepped up, upgraded to meet up the standards so that they can be approved by FINA. What has been done by the Federation?
My darling daughter, it's not the Federation, it's the government. We have one in Lagos, we have one by federal government, we have one in Abuja, we have one in Ibadan. None of them have this modern timing touchpad. So please join me in the advocacy, because even the minister right now, when in Ghana, he was lamenting, said, swimming, we can have 40 medals in swimming, you have 40 medals in swimming, and we cannot get one. So I was just telling him all the challenges. For now, everybody is concentrated on these Olympics. After this, I'm sure we'll get back to the drawing board. And please join me in the advocacy.
Okay, it's all about sport development. We need to develop this sport because we can't keep having 2 athletes represent a country of over 200 million at international games. At international games like the Paris Olympics.
And even these 2 athletes are not even based in Nigeria.
Yes, I understand that.
One is in Singapore, the other one is in England, where they can train in standard swimming pools.
All right, Chinoye, what are those primary challenges? I need to understand right now, those primary challenges that is hampering the growth of aquatic sport like swimming in Nigeria. Can you just get me into them?
Well, we do have the swimmers. We do have natural swimmers. So it's just to train them in standard swimming pools. Because like Delta State government is doing a lot of things to make sure that, our swimmers are doing well. So at the grassroots level, we have the swimmers, but we need to step up to that level. Even in Calabar, where they had a standard swimming pool because they were preparing for a national swimming festival, even their timing is destroyed. It's not in good position. The one we had in Port Harcourt is gone. The one we had in Delta State, we even have 3 swimming pools in Delta State. It's gone, stolen, vandalized. The one in Delta State was vandalized, stolen.
And what was done about that?
It's the usual thing, call police, call this, call that. But we are calling the attention of the new governor to please make even one swimming pool standard with all the equipment, all the vandalized equipment. We need to put them back into the swimming pool.
Okay, let's look ahead. What specific programs are in place? Because we're not going to be talking about only from the government angle right now, what they should do, what they should not do. Let's talk about the Federation. What programs are in place from the Aquatic Federation to develop young swimming talents? As I did say, we cannot always have just few athletes having to represent Nigeria in swimming. They say swimming is not in our DNA, but we can break the jinx. We did that at the African Games, winning a medal. First in 33 years, as you did say, and you've been using that as an accolade for a very long time. So we've been having this conversation because I understand that grassroots programs and talent identification initiatives are very crucial for long-term success in this sport. We said we have a lot of people from the riverine areas. I know people that can stay on the water for hours. Can't we go scope these talents, nurture them so that they can represent Nigeria on international needs?
Very well said. When I came on board, I noticed that we have a lot of aging coaches. So we've been doing a lot of coaching clinics. We've done one in Lagos, one in Abuja, the next one we are just doing it zone by zone to capture all the coaches. So we are upgrading our coaches with the new techniques, with the new rules, with the new regulations and techniques. So the next training workshop is going to be in Delta State. So charity begins from the base. So we are training our coaches, training and retraining our coaches, and we are certifying them. And if you come to our coaching school and you do not do the practicals, we do not give you the license. You must do the practical training for us to give you the coaching license.
Now, these coaches you're training, I know it's a two-way thing. The coaches be trained and the athletes be trained. If there are no athletes, the coaches cannot have an evidence for this training you're giving them. What has been done to garner a lot of talents so that these coaches can have the currency for this training you're giving them?
No, we have the talents already. In the Niger Delta, when you are born, you know how to swim. And then the swimming pools also in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, they are swimming. We have swimmers. These coaches are training new young swimmers, and the existing swimmers are also being trained to do better.
Now, if this how long has this training been on? I beg your pardon. How long has this training been on?
Now, for 2 years, we've been training and retraining our coaches.
Then how come do we have only 2 athletes going to the Paris Olympic Games? Were they not good enough? The athletes that have been trained by these coaches, who have gone through training too.
But what I am telling you now is that we do not have the local facility. These athletes are outside Nigeria training. How many people can you give scholarship to train outside? So we need to upgrade our facilities.
Okay, have there been any, drawn out blueprints that has been given to the new sport minister? I know that he has passed his 100 days and we should see a little bit of impact in other sports. We're not getting attention away from football. Have there been any blueprints to the sport minister? Because I heard his reaction after Nigeria picked bronze at the African Games.
Yeah, he now asked, what can we do?
Yes.
So we told him what we can do, upgrade our facilities. That is the power, the power of the authorities. But the one that is in our power, the Swimming Federation, is what we are doing. Train the coaches, and so that they can train our swimmers. Because our swimmers are there all over the place. From all the Niger Delta states, Ondo, even in Lagos and Abuja, the ones that are not even using natural swimming pools, the swimmers are coming up. The coaches are being retrained. And then we have the Chief of Naval Staff Annual Swimming Championship. We have a lot of swimming championships. We have National Youth Game. We do swimming. Swimming is compulsory. We have the Youth Games, the National Swimming Festival. We have our own championships within the Federation. And the Navy has done a lot, sponsoring swimming every year. It's an annual event that encompasses everybody. The institutions, the military, paramilitary, everybody comes together for the CNS.
Okay. Let's now, before I wrap up this conversation, Nigeria, yes, will have Chinoye Daphey in the Paris Olympic Games. How hopeful are you that they can return home with medals from the Paris Olympic Games? We cannot just send these athletes and have them return empty-handed back to Nigeria. The only way you can be able to prove your point more, send your message down that you need more support for the facilities and the sport in entirety, is by having these athletes come back with the dividend of the hope that they can also get a medal at the Paris Olympic Games. How hopeful are you that these two athletes will come up with something?
Well, the one big thing is we made it, we qualified into the Olympics. And we are training and retraining and retraining.
Are you confident about that training?
Yes, I am confident. That is why their coaches, they have their coaches. They are paid coaches, the individual coaches that are training them. So, and then they are determined and working very hard to make sure that, they make their impact. They come up with something to make Nigeria proud.
Okay, we'll be hoping that they can also make Nigeria proud with coming home with gold, silver or bronze medal, being the fact that Nigeria have not won a medal at the Paris Olympic Games. We have been speaking to the president of the Nigeria Aquatic Federation. I should have gone on and on with this conversation, but time to that friend. We'll surely bring you some other time on the show for you to expatiate more. Maybe when we have the two athletes go on parade for their event. Thank you so much, Chinoye Daphey-Aliyu, for joining us on the show. It was an interesting conversation with you.